So my hope is that the town comes together and presents their cases. The board makes a decision based on what they're hearing, and the town gets the best decision for the town. And we'll carry on with whatever that decision is.
The town of Hopkinton hosted an informational session about entering into a regional emergency communications center along with other nearby communities.
Here, for all of the locations in the town, as well as, they're not going to be picking it up. It's a familiar voice that you may hear up here. It's going to be at a regional dispatch center. My experience on that is that the regional dispatch center, you become part of their center, and they learn all of the nuances of your town at that center and the personnel there.
This may be a little far-fetched, but there's a point to it. With respect to these four towns, say some almost national type of disaster happened. Say there was a bombing in all these four towns, but the hardest hit was Hopkinton, and Grafton would like to take care of their own people. Isn't there a conflict of interest in a situation like that?
Sure.
Thank you for the question.
So that's a very good question. So certainly those type of incidents, yes, certainly those types of incidents should be identified previously in any community's comprehensive emergency management plan, which is required by the federal government and is updated annually. And so they would identify what resources needed to be sent, whether they be in from a wreck or not. Having grown up in the neighboring town here to Hopkinton, is that I follow all the news in Metro West every day. And so I constantly see resources being moved from Westboro to Southboro to Ashland to Marlboro, et cetera. So, having those multiple resources available and already identified ahead of time for response capabilities is part of having a comprehensive emergency management plan.
Right now, Norman had mentioned it's more about efficiency than savings. And I honestly believe that. I mean, I think we probably made it pretty clear that there won't be a cost savings with it. However, I don't think that there will be an efficiency savings. As Donnie Collins said, right now we have two dispatchers around the clock. During the day, we have a dispatch supervisor present. When the wheels fall off of something, they come together. If a major event is going to happen and we know about it, such as a weather event, we call in another dispatcher. We're never going to be able to foresee the future and know that some national tragedy, a local tragedy takes place. That's the nature of emergency service, and that's what we have to do. However, there are safeguards built into that. Some of the things that are being brought up that will that are concerns about making it easier to dispatch are already safeguards built in. If we get an increased number of 911 calls, major accident right at Main and Grove Street, dispatch is immediately flooded with dozens of 911 calls. Our dispatchers do a great job of screening through those calls, but there's also a built-in overflow. Those dispatch calls don't go unanswered. They end up in neighboring towns who then call and say, hey, I just got a call here. Thank you, we're aware of it. We're dispatching somebody to it. Safeguards are already in place. As far as as was put, the interoperability and standardization and enhanced mutual aid, we already have that built into place. Ever since September 11th, the incident command system has been put into place. There's all different levels of incident command. The study was done by the FBI after September 11th that basically said interoperability was a huge issue during that event. That was addressed. We now have all of our dispatchers, to the best of my knowledge, trained in incident command system. We have unified command systems that are in place that are both police and fire working jointly. We have what is needed in Hopkinton already serving solely the needs of Hopkinton. We don't We don't need to be in a regional dispatch center to increase our levels of service.
You can view the entire program at our YouTube page, youtube.com/HCAMTV, or find it on our website, hcam.tv.